everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Los Angeles Chargers. With that, let's get out to Southern California with the call from Los Angeles. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the StubHub Center, 20 miles south of downtown L.A. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wildcard matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Los Angeles Chargers. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
What twists and turns will January have in store for us? The NFL playoffs are officially underway. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still first down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
Hey, 4 down. Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Mike 57,
From the gun, Mayfield. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Gun!
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. Quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Hurry up, here we go!
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
We got 3 down. Hey, fellas, we got 3. Let's go. right, here we go.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Still second down.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on second down.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. Here we go now. 3-19.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Right there.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Hey. All right, here we go.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the big meat on the D-line. We'll see how they do today.
And I'd hate to be an offensive lineman having to deal with these guys. They come in hungry, mean, and confident. They think that no one can block them.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield over the middle, complete. That's Gordon. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, this crowd does not like that call.
Understandable reaction from them. That's their team that the penalty's going against. But you and I both know they're going to take care of the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Tight on the left. Tight on the left. Move. Hurry up. Here we go.
Again, this is Kamara. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, he breaks through, nothing but room to run.
Mayfield down. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. In for the score. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they? No. That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their 6'4" quarterback, the former #1 overall pick in 2015, Jameis Winston.
And when you scout him on tape, you see the big wind-up delivery. But one other thing I noticed, when it's time to turn it loose, to let that ball go, it gets out of his hands quickly at that point and gets from A to B, B being the receiver, with some dispatch.
It's time to play. Tight left.
Now a first carry from Melvin Gordon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
I have to admit, I've rather enjoyed watching Melvin Gordon's improvement as he's developed as an NFL player because it started for me in college. Every year he was in school, he would add something extra to his game. First year, he knew how to run. He wanted to add pass receiving to his game. The next year, he wanted to add pass protection to his game. Did all of that. That turned him into a first-rounder and now a front-line NFL back.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Jameis on 2nd down. And he slings one that's incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target. And it's 3rd down. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
Yeah, they just held them to a field goal. So to them, that was an almost complete performance because, you know, when you really shut someone out, that's complete. But that's pretty darn good, isn't it?
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
You got three down.
Green, triple team.
Check 52.
Sonic.
Let's go.
From the gun, Winston. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They bring the 5 seed into the playoffs. Of course, they're one of the wild card teams. And when you're a wild card team, it makes it a little bit tougher. You have to win the extra game. But there's been a precedent set of teams doing that successfully in the past.
And it's usually teams that have aspects that really jump out at you and are really factors in the playoffs. I mean, Pittsburgh, they rode a heavy run game with Jerome Bettis when they won in 2005. And then don't forget the Giants in 2007. That season, pass rush. Remember how big that was for them during the playoffs. And for Green Bay, it was the quarterback play of Aaron Rodgers. So to me, it's a matter of what's going to affect the game in a big way. Can that aspect of your team really make those plays? A lot of times it's pass rush and quarterback play.
Watch you now, Barney.
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Mayfield on 1st down. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one down the line of scrimmage.
Taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available, Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10.
Here we go now. Green.
On second down, Mayfield again. Going back to Lander. This time he's got him complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
4 down, 4 down. Check.
Here we go now. 3, 9.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain.
Bus stop.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Got 4 down.
A first down throw for Mayfield. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Detroit! Detroit! Hey. Set! Blue, 90.
Mayfield off the play fake. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down.
Tight end right. 4 down, 4 down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 19.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Able to find Shaheen, the tight end. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Let's go, fellas. We got 4 down. Let's go.
This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3, 19.
Now Kamara. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Oh, I know he felt that one. I know he felt that one. Double tight.
Here we go now. Blue, 90.
Second down, Mayfield. This will be caught at about the 6. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The Browns on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because they did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
So out come the Chargers. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Ready. White 25.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And this will be incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle.
Ready? Black 22's hot.
We got 3.
Boys hot.
Bang, bang, bang.
Let's go.
On third down, this is Melvin Gordon. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offense coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right.
Come on. Sunday. Green, Triple C.
Watch Twill. Watch Twill.
Green, Triple C.
Safety green. Watch safety green.
Boys hot.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to run the pass.
And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41.
It's time to play.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Hey, sub. Let's go. Green, Triple C.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. Don't worry. It's more coming. It's more where I came from.
Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out.
Man left.
Hey, sub. Let's go. Ready. Blue, ready. Green, Triple C.
Mike's by 4. Mike's by 4.
Green, Triple C.
Go.
Boys hot.
Jameis to throw it. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And way down into the red zone before he's dropped inside of Cleveland's 15. A big play on 3rd down for the Chargers. 48 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch 7. Watch 7.
Boys hot.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Back to the ground now with Gordon. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Chargers have made this a 1-score game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point up and through, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Hey, hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down.
You got tight right there.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Single. Leopard. Hurry up, here we go.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Tight end right.
Here's Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Here we go now.
They go play action. Mayfield rolling to his right. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
That was a 3rd and somewhat manageable, now not so manageable.
Exactly, because you had a play call on that you felt like, hey, this could go quick, and it doesn't take much to get it done. Now, you got to start thinking about a little bit of a deeper route type of a call, especially if you want to throw it.
Green 39.
On 3rd down, Mayfield drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Black 99 Philly, here we go.
Jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Browns on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
4 down, 4 down.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Mayfield. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Trying to get it to Landry there.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or they want to take the big strike and go after it right now.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
We got 4. We got 4. 54's Mike. 54's Mike.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And it's complete. Henry, his first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Five-o. Right there. 54.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Tight end's right.
Ready. Blue 80.
Everyone, you got 4 down.
Sonic. Green, triple C.
Check Mike 54. Mike.
Sonic. Sonic.
Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Watch that.
2nd down, Winston. Henry's got it out on the left side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun, Winston. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Khalil Mack in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here. Complete. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Strong right. Here we go now. Blue 90.
Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Outside coming.
He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days in Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to it?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Four down. Set. Blue 90.
A second down throw for Mayfield. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now let's go. Blue 90.
First down, Mayfield. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll throw again. Here's
39.
Mayfield. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's first and 10.
4 down. Set. 3-19.
And again, it's Mayfield. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long.
Set. 3-19.
Mayfield with it once more. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Emmanuel Ogbah coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. From the gun, Winston. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Short throw, pick 6 right there, those linebackers. Second down, Mayfield. Incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position could get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
Crash down, crash.
Good job by this defense, and now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3 and out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally do a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line. 2nd and a yard.
Single receiver. Ready. White 25.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Hey, ready. Blue 80. We got 4 down. 4 down. Hey, sub. Let's go. 54. Mike 54. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Khalil Mack able to disrupt yet another pass play. Third sack of the afternoon.
You must arrive to the lot no later than 3 hours prior to game time, or entry to the lot will not be permitted. No refunds will be issued. Please know that at that point, you will be responsible for finding...
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. A toss play, Gordon. Oh, he shifts past him. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
I can say this from experience, especially from a defensive back's perspective. There's not many things more terrifying than a toss sweep or a pitch play and all that beef out in front of the runner.
Yeah, I had an old coach say 3 words on those plays, toss or pitch. Set the edge. Heard him over and over.
A lot of times they roll the edge, and when they do that, that's why you can go for a long way.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 43.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. My 50.
Now with just 1 on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter.
Four down. Let's go.
Jameis to throw it. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack.
We got him.
Back at the 47-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
One quarter remains for the right to survive round one here in the AFC. Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Tight end right, tight end right.
Here we go. Hey, Sonic.
To throw, Winston. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
4 down. Check.
5-0.
I got him. Back's mine. I got him.
5-0.
Check. 53's Mike. Check. 53's Mike.
White.
Big Dad.
Flip it.
Following the penalty, here's Gordon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain.
Let's go.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Let's convert.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And this one's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside. And just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On 3rd down, it's Gordon. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but But that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain. It looked good when it left his foot, but he kind of sliced it a little bit, and he winds up missing it wide right.
Geared up to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Green, 39!
Again, it's Kamara. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
3rd down, here's Kamara. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. So that'll be marked down as a 19-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. A look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. And after the slow start, the numbers show he has really straightened things out. How often sometimes is that you come into a game and the defense is game planned a little differently than you expected?
More often than maybe people realize, so adjustments are often a big part of each and every game, and it's not just getting to halftime. It's series to series to make it work, and being able to hang in there when there's a little adversity early and see them able to flip it around, it's kind of gratifying for a team to watch, especially for a coach. But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
5-0, 5-0, 5-0. Hey, switch gears. Buzz, be ready.
They keep it on the ground again, Gordon. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, that's Jackson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Close to field goal range now. Get up, get set, and spike it.
Now Gordon. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Overtime in a playoff game. Awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets...
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so
Hurry
far.
up, here we go. 3-19.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to... if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
They're certainly fatigued on both sides of the football. Mayfield looks to throw, finding his safety valve here. That's complete. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Set. Blue 90.
Mayfield from the gun on third down. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Watch tight end. Tight right, tight right. Set! Green, 39! Green!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And that one results in 35 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Blue 90!
On the ground, this is Camaro. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Now let's go! 3-19!
They run it again with Camaro, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Casey Hayward makes the tackle. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Coming up on a 3rd and 9, opening drive of overtime as they look to convert. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Buying time to his left. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. He went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And his kick is good. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
This one taken just inside the 10. Now a hit and a loose football. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And a disappointing way to close out the season. He got into the playoffs but couldn't really make any noise.
Still a good season. Some might call it a great season when they get away from it a little bit. But they also will all look at their own errors, their own mistakes, and wonder how they could have played a little bit better. So if they get in this position again, they'll be ready to win.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Southern California, so long, everybody.